This week, we race an absolute legend in the XJ220. We race from Group 3 at Suzuka, and it's very, very, very slippy. And in Race C, well, there's 2 laps to go and only 1 lap of fuel. Hello everyone, and welcome back to a Gran Turismo weekly race guide here in 2023. Week 36 this week, and I'm quite liking this week, I've got to be honest with you. When I first heard about it, I was like, no, thank you. But now I've tried it, it's not too bad, as you will see in this video. So first up in the background, we have the Jaguar XJ220 at Watkins Glen Short. We're doing 7 laps here. It's a grid start without the full start checks, so foot to the floor, sports hard tyres, and off you go. Now, I know a lot of you don't like doing Race A, but I do advise you actually give this one a try. It's actually quite good fun. If you don't want to, though, there are some timestamps there for you, but we did go and have a go at it, and we did have some fun. So let's jump straight to that race now. Let's have a look at exactly what happens, followed by a lap guide to help you out. Right then, here we go then. A few of you have actually changed the liveries on the car. Going for that British Racing green, of course, as we get ready. So foot to the floor, traction control on 1 is what I would advise here. No need to hold on to the handbrake here. There's no check there at all as we kick off here. And we're going to go by give and bench there straight away. Martini liveried style Jaguar there, lemon squeezy as we head down towards turn 1 then. Is it all safe and sound? I think it is actually. Fair play to everybody there. We all make it through. Nice and dandy. Got Shelty up ahead with Mario Sonic as we go into the right-hander. Shelty's just going to understeer a little bit. Going to give Mario some space there, though. Allow him to come back on as we continue to the left. We got behind, give a bench, looking for a way through. Nowhere to go so far as we continue through the right. I think Mario Sonic whacked on his hazards there to say thank you to Shelty for letting him go there as we continue on out of there. I'm looking down the inside of Shelty. Mario on the inside of Disco Shoe in towards first corner. There's a slight tap between the two of them there. Not sure what's happened there, but Disco Shoe is going to get reset. Now, if you did notice in the rear view mirror, somebody took avoiding action. We're going to have a look at that in the bloopers because it was very, very, very well done indeed as we go through this right-hander and continue on out. I can tell you I was very scared at the time because I saw them coming at me, but hey, they nailed it. They actually nailed it to perfection. Right, we're behind Shelty here, and we're actually going to stay behind Shelty a little bit here. I didn't want to send it. I just wanted to relax a little bit as we head towards turn 1 on lap number 2. Coming into here then, we're going to chuck it round and absolutely boot it in second gear. Now, this car, the turbo is the high RPM turbo on it, okay? So that means you rev the nuts out of this car to get the maximum boost in the car, which means you will start flying down any straight whatsoever. So we get past Shelty there. Good bit of racing with Shelty as we advance where 3 people had penalties there. Mario Sonic, Hodgson, and Palace Park. Maybe a Crystal Palace fan. I'm not too sure. I don't know whether that's in relation to that. I have no idea what Crystal Palace's football club ground is actually called. Anyway, through the right we go then. And we're going to have a good run on Palace Park here as we go towards that inside line then. Oh, Hodgson with a 0.5 penalty there. That's no good. A Park TCR, of course, as we head down in towards this right-hander then. Side by side with Palace Park. Through we go, keep it towards the inside, beat it out, up another place, up into P7 we go then, as we fast forward a little bit here on the straight then, and towards the bus stop chicane then, we get it stopped there nicely, in towards the left we go, just using all the curbs to our advantage here, going to straight line this little bit here, Hodgson leaving the gap on the inside then, down the inside we go, trying to slow the car down. It's a long right-hander, longer than normal this. It really does just keep going on and on and on. But we get the job done. Up into P6 we go. Sonic's up ahead now. Heading in towards turn 1. Onto the brakes we go. And Sonic, I mean, awesome sportsmanship there. Took avoiding action on Mario Sonic. Went towards that left there to avoid hitting him. Be up into P5. But well played to Sonic there as we head into the bus stop chicane then. Had such a good race so far. This is a really enjoyable combo. Honestly, I was greatly surprised. Even doing laps around here, I was surprised because there's different ways to drive this car. And we'll talk about that in the track guide. So through this right we go then. We're right behind this fight for P3 then with Carolyn and Mario Sonic then. Continuing on out of that corner. Where's Mario Sonic going to go? Don't press the horn as we continue on then towards the left hand. We're going to try around the outside of Mario Sonic. Is it going to work? That's the question. Oh, it's side by side. Look at this. Beautiful racing. Mario Sonic defends it just there. Defends it just very nicely indeed as we go through the right then. I'm going to get a bit of oversteer as we continue towards turn 1 through. There we go. Look at this. Look at the speed we're going now as we head up here then. Both up ahead. Do understeer off a little bit here. We get a massive run. Absolutely huge run here on them both then. What can we do with this run then? Where's Mario Sonic going to go? left or right, goes towards that right-hand side. We stick it towards the left. Look at that classic livery on the car then as we break there. Slight tap between Sonic and Carolyn. I'm pretty sure Sonic's just waiting for Carolyn there as we continue on through, but I'm going to try and go for it now. Round the outside. Carolyn's got a bit deep then. Oh, it's 3 wide on this right-hander. This doesn't happen. Look at it. Look how Carolyn managing that to perfection. Well played, Carolyn, as we continue on through there. The Martini delivery there of lemony squeeze. Going for it then. Everyone's towards the left. So Carolyn goes towards that right. Shouldn't have done that, I don't think. Should have tried to defend it on the left. Not too sure. As we continue on, maybe go for the inside on this final corner. What a start to this video, that is for sure. As we go to the right then, round the outside of Carolyn we go. Do we make it work? We do indeed. What a race. Honestly, this race is awesome. Sonic going there for the spin. Congratulations to Chicken Angel. TCR P1 there. Well played, Chicken Angel. Somebody else, I think, had binned it there across the line. Oh, gone for the spin, should I say. But yeah, an awesome race. One well worth trying, folks. I highly recommend it. Let's get into a guide then. How do you do this one? Head towards turn 1. You do brake early in these road cars, as you know. It's the 400 board or the sign on the right-hand side. I was using both of these. They're very, very obvious to spot and very easy to use. Now, this corner in terms of gears, third or second gear, I couldn't decide really. So sometimes I was using second, sometimes using third. Third's a bit low down in the revs, but it's stable. Second, obviously, you're going to punch it and be at the top end of the turbo, then have the gear delay shift slightly. I think second is a little bit quicker, but it's not massively quicker. So just keep that in mind if you're struggling with that power oversteer or anything. Right up here, you have to do lift a little bit there through that left and right there, or right and left, should I say. You do have to, it's not flat, so don't try and do it flat. Slight lift, keep the car controlled as you go through. Heading towards the bus stop chicane then, what you're looking for is that 500 board on the left-hand side. You're braking so early for this corner, okay? Now, you want to do this in third gear. Some people were doing it in second, but I found it, again, the car gets very oversteery in second because you're getting all the power with that turbo. So I would recommend staying in third here. Use all the curb on the right. Chuck it left a little bit. Dab the brake a little bit there just to try and get it round a little bit. Straight line this part and then get ready for this right-hander, which is where you dab the brakes and you just control the speed of the car. This is all you're doing at the moment. So you're on and off that throttle, or up and down, it should say, rather than on and off. And what you're looking for is that I love New York sign there on the right-hand side, okay, on the Marshall box. So if you're not wanting to use the sign, use the Marshall box. Now, as you get towards that, and as that starts to leave the screen, okay, this is when you want to start accelerating. This is when you want to really start accelerating through the corner. If you start to understeer, just lift slightly like I did there. That's all you've got to do. Continue on then towards the final couple of corners then. And what we're looking for is on the right-hand side, okay? So, as the barrier goes towards that right, it opens up a little bit. You can either use that, or you can use the end of the tarmac there on the right, you know, just after the white line. Either of those markers are really good here for this left-hander. Again, third and second gear. Big debate here what you should use. I would recommend third gear, to be honest with you. Just allows the car to be more stable, more consistent, and that's what you're really after in terms of lap time. As you head towards final corner, again, braking early on the right-hand side at the end of the 10th there. That is what I'm using as a brake marker here. Now, this one is more of a second gear corner. I think I'd do it in third in this lap, but second gear for this corner is probably what I would recommend for this one to try and really boost it out of there. It gets a slight bit of oversteer, but it's catchable with the camber. Notice here, third gear, it's just a bit too low down. So second gear, I think, is better for that corner. That is a lap here in the Jaguar XJ220. Again, try it out. Well worth doing. It's a really, really, really fun race. Race B then, well, we're at Suzuka in Group 3, and as you can see, lots of different cars on your screen right now. What exactly are we doing here at Suzuka, you're probably wondering? Well, we're doing 5 laps. It's a rolling start on the racing hard tyres, and brake balance is allowed. Which is why I chose that Audi R8 LMS Evo. You know how good it is from the car profiles. If you're not sure about the car profiles, check out the end of this video. But this race, oh my word, it is good. Let's jump to it now. Let's have a look at exactly what happens. Right, here we go then. Lots of choices you saw in that TV footage. Everyone picking their favourite cars. And believe it or not, the Bouncer Performance, the latest one, was done here at Suzuka. I can tell you that. That's confirmation for you. It was done at Suzuka, and I can tell you that with a fact. So do trust me on that one. All the Bouncer Performances may change track, but it was done at Suzuka as we go in towards turn 1 there. Do be careful of cold tyres because you will head off. As we see a couple of people off there, we get the inside of the Nissan then. Just give them enough room to go back on. Unfortunately, they get tagged by that Subaru BRZ and head to Narnia there, off into the grass. But we get P11. Happy days indeed. Come into this left-hander then. TCR Hodgson up ahead. A slight bit of, well, physics there. Ping pong from Gran Turismo as we expect. we actually get a position there. Happy days indeed, avoiding all of that as we head up towards Spoon then. In towards the left we go. That McLaren 650S looking a bit sketchy actually as we go into the second part of Spoon then. Coming out of here then, Mufti there. Oh, onto the slippy bit. We got the inside of that McLaren then as we head towards the 130R. Can we get this done then? This car, not known for its top speed, but it's very good for its handling. This Audi R8 LMS Evo. Again, check out the car profile. I was expecting them to back off a bit here so that I could take a full line, and that means it wouldn't slow them up a bit, but they didn't. I had to slow it down massively there, and that did cost them as well. As we continue on through. Hello, we got a Porsche into the barrier. My word, that was quick. They just literally span out. We'll check that out in the bloopers as we're now into P8. And, oh my, somebody else is... This race has got spinners galore. Now, this race, you do have to be careful, right? It's a very risky race. Racing hard tyres, cold tyres. FR cars spin their wheels all day, and literally MR cars are just a bit dicey. All cars are dicey, to be honest with you. As we see, BLZ off there, lemon squeezy then, just going off then, side by side then, in towards the S as we go. Mouse on it, looking for a place to go. A slight tap on Shelty as we go into the left. Shelty in his Beetle, of course he is. Oh, that rear, I talked about the FR cars and those rear wheels. They are a little bit cold. They do spin up very quickly, but the Porsche of KCR fake Brit there, round the outside in that Porsche 911. What a move this could be then as we head towards Tidgney. I'm on the outside. I've got nowhere to go. I have to back out of this. Well played indeed. Brilliant move there. Well played that. That is awesome stuff. It really was. As we advance then further on then into 130. All that sound bug is still there in this game. I've reported that so many times. Heading in towards the Casio Triangle though. Look up ahead. Fake Brit just clips the grass. Goes for a spin. Oh, Marisonic's off as well as we continue on out of here. Then Squeezy goes by. Then Marisonic gets a bit of oversteer there. Shelty tries to avoid him. We go on the inside up into P4. Absolute chaos this race so far. And I think a lot of these races will be chaos just because of the grip levels. The grip levels are just not there. Not what people are expecting. I think Cheesy said in the race, why is this 911 oversteering? Yes, they all oversteer in this one. You can't change brake balance. I talked about brake balance before in terms of when you are looking to adjust brake balance. If the car is oversteery in the braking zone, then literally put it towards the front. If it's understeery, put it towards the rear, and that should help you out massively. Anyway, we're behind Mario Sonic here, right behind this Corvette then as we go into the right-hander. We've done a car profile on that car as well. We're going through this Group 3 field quite quickly then as we go into the left then, looking to get it round here. And we clip that curve, which is what you should do. Look at the oversteer again from that Corvette. FR cars are not having a nice time here, that's for sure. We look down the inside of Tidgney 1. Oh, yeah, I wouldn't go for it, Tidgney 1 either. So back out of this. Shelty backs out of it as well behind. And we fight another day then. We've got one lap to go. What can we do then? We start that final lap right now then. In towards the braking zone, turn one. Marisonic goes very deep here as we go through the right-hander. Continue on out then and up towards the left-hander we go. Oh, slight tap there between the two. I think that's nothing major, to be honest with you. I think that's the case of just turning and me turning a bit too soon as we go into Spoon. Then we're still in this fight. Then a fight for the podium is on then. In towards the second part here. Marisonic's gone wide then, but we know that Corvette's got much better top speed than this Audi R8 from the test we have done. I'll keep talking about those car profiles. They're well worth a watch as we continue on out. I put a lot of effort into them as well, so I do appreciate all the support for them. Heading up to 130. I did lift off a little bit here to see if I could get a run through the left-hander. Not quite though. As we head towards this braking zone, Marisonic goes defensive. We go down that left-hand side, then we know this car's better on the brakes. Slight tap there from Mario. It just put us off there just about. Again, we'll have a look at that in the bloopers, but I was like, come on. Anyway, Shelty goes by, but goes for a bit of a spin. Shelty! Oh, Shelty. It made me laugh at the time. You can see that. It makes me laugh again now. Shelty didn't want to have P4, wanted to finish P5, and there is the evidence for you. Thank you, Shelty, for letting me have P4 there. Congratulations to Sonic. It's another P1 for TCR as we head towards turn 1 then. This is the lap guide for you. And the 50 board, or that piece of tarmac on the left-hand side is your brake marker, okay? Now, obviously, depending on the car, it depends on where your brake marker is. This is the brake marker I use in Group 3, okay? I go ahead of it sometimes, I go behind it sometimes. I use this. So as I come into here, I'm just balancing the car then on the brakes. Not 100% braking there, varying between 75 and 50 as I go through the corner. Be careful on exit of power oversteer, so that many times. In towards the first left, then I just lift off usually for this. I'm going to drop a gear then for this right-hander rather than hit the brake pedal. It's because you want consistency, and if you hit the brake pedal, you're going to have issues. I would brake for this one though. Keep and maintain speed on that inside line. Keep it tight. Head over towards the left-hand side, and you want to clip the curb. The second you clip the curb, it'll pull you around a little bit. Just avoid going too wide on the exit because that grass will pull you off. Heading towards Tidgney 1 then, what we use is on the right-hand side. It's that lamppost there. It's now become a very consistent brake marker and turning marker for Tidgney 1. It's a very nice one. It's on the right side. So as that leaves the screen on this camera angle, obviously it varies on different camera angles. Just use it as a marker for you so you can get a judgment. As that leaves the screen here, I brake, I turn in, I use the bump a little bit here, keep a bit on the throttle there. And for the second Tidgney here, on the left-hand side, you have that Marshall tent. As that hits the edge of your screen, you're going to hit the brakes. Now, generally, I do this corner in second gear in most cars. Sometimes I will short shift to third gear to avoid spinning up those rear wheels. Use that tip because it will be needed in some of these cars as we go through the right-hander. You can use quite a lot of the exit curb, but that does slow you down a little bit. I do lose a tenth because of that as we head towards the hairpin. Now, what we're going to use for the hairpin, it's the same brake marker we've used ever since the introduction of GT Sports. The end of the curb there. So literally, as you get to the end of the curb, you're going to hit the brakes and brake in a straight line. Remember, you cannot turn and brake 100%. It's not possible. It's not possible. So brake in a straight line 100% and then release the brakes as you start to turn in. And then start to accelerate as early as you can. Be careful on exit. A lot of cars are going to suffer with power oversteer. MR cars less so because the weight's over those rear wheels. It can grip a lot better. Great, isn't it? That's the nice little difference you have between FR and MR. Head towards Spoon then. You've got that piece of tarmac on the right-hand side. I try and brake as close to that as humanly possible. On racing hard tyres, I have to brake a little bit before it, but that is always my brake marker here at Suzuka. So what we're going to do here, later turning than you expect, clip the curb over towards the right-hand side. Now we need to start turning and slowing the car down before the end of that curb on the right-hand side. There are lots and lots and lots and lots of people who will spin out on this corner because they go a bit too wide and they don't slow it down and bring it back quick enough. You need to bring it back quick enough. Very, very, very quickly. Slow the car down, get it rotated enough, and then accelerate out the corner. Be careful of the slippy stuff on exit. You can go on it and survive, but it gets a bit risky. Heading towards 130R then, what we're looking for is on the right side. It's the 50 board there, okay? Now, in some cars, you're going to have to brake and turn in. Okay, we've seen this in the car profiles as well. The Audi R8 here that I'm in is so good at handling. It's just a slight lift and go through the corner. It's nearly at the same speed as the racing mediums, actually. But there is no fuel in time trial, so it swings around about here. But we'll continue on through there, using all the curb on the exit. Be careful going over the curb. It's very slippy out there. And heading towards the Casio triangle there, we've got the yellow line. That is the yellow line I always use at the Casio triangle. Very obvious, use it in many games. It's basically an old pit lane there, and use that as your brake marker. You can use 100 boards as a bit of judgment if you want to, but I always use this. So that's what I'm advising you to use. Drop the gears all the way to first gear, cut the first bit there, cut more of the second bit if you can, and I'd always do second gear out of this corner because you will get oversteer no matter what there, as we saw earlier on in the race. That's it in terms of race B though. Let's head to race C, where we're in Group 4 machinery at Autopolis, which is not the greatest track in the world, but it's not too bad in Group 4 to be fair. Group 3 to any downforce cars, this track is a big issue, but in Group 4, it's not too bad. We're doing 10 laps here. It's a rolling start, racing medium and hard tyres. The hard is the one that's required. Times 7 fuel, times 1 tyre, and brake balance is available to you. Now, when I started this race, I read it the wrong way around. I thought it was times 7 tyre and times 1 fuel. So guess what's going to happen in this race? So sit back, relax, enjoy this one, and let's jump straight to it. Right, here we are then. Who's picking what? I'm revving my engine right now, and I really shouldn't be. We got a McGann trophy there in Medi. I have seen your comment, Medi, on the car profile, by the way. I will answer it shortly. I'm going through comments, so if you've left a comment in the last month, I should be getting into it this week. I have been doing them week by week by week, but I'm slowly getting there in the end. Right, into the race zone. We're catching Mario Sonic very quickly here. Obviously, Mario will be saving fuel, whereas I'm not. In towards the braking zone, we got a Ferrari behind. Absolutely sent it in half there. We got somebody in the gravel. Oh, slight tap there. They do apologise for that. We leave this corner. Disco Stu comes back on the circuit. We got that inside, and we keep 2 wheels on the tarmac there to avoid dirty tyres. Remember, all 4 wheels go off, you're in trouble. Only 2, you're actually fine in Gran Turismo. In towards the right-hander we go there. We outbrake ourselves a little bit. Mario Sonic with a beautiful little cut back there. Gets the job done. Goes around the outside of Toby as well. Looking around the outside of Sonic. Is that going to happen? Is it? No, not quite there. In towards the braking zone we go then. We slow it down nicely and continue on through. Toby went a bit deep there, so we're going to be side by side with Toby then as we go through the right and into this left-hander then as we chuck it in. Toby on the inside, I'm on the outside here. Toby, beautiful racing here. Gives me some room. I give them room as well as we leave that corner side by side. Beautiful stuff there, Toby. Really well played then as we head towards the top of the hill and the hairpin and in towards this braking zone. Then you can see everyone fighting up ahead as well. See what we can do as we go into the left then, and out we go. Sonic and Mario still there side by side as we advance towards the end of the lap then, and we begin lap number 2. So you can see here, I'm revving the nuts out of it at the moment. I have no idea of the situation that I'm about to be going into later on in this race. I'm on the racing hard tyres, so I did read the tyre requirement right. I just read the fuel usage wrong. Anyway, towards turn 1 we go. We go past Sonic. Happy days indeed. We bit out of here, so we go past Mario Sonic. Now we go past TCR Sonic. We go past both Sonics there as we head up to P9, and we're looking to try and get past as quick as we can. I love the Mondeo livery there, Sonic, on the Subaru. It looks quite good, doesn't it? Old touring cars there, old BTCC. We advance towards the end of lap 2, where we catch up to the next pack then. We've got Ilalani, I think. I don't know if that's how you say it or not. But once again, obviously I'm revving the nuts out of it. Everybody else is fuel saving. Who knew? Who actually knew? I didn't know. Everybody else knew, actually. But we're going to head it down the inside then in towards the braking zone. We go of that Subaru. Do we get it stopped? We do indeed. Still side by side as we leave that corner. They're on the left. I'm on the right hand side here. Good bit of racing there. We both left each other room. How it should be done. So hope you guys see that, who are a bit more dirty than me. Not everyone obviously watching the channel, I'm just saying those that are a bit more dirty. That's how you do it. You got to leave space here, there and everywhere so that you can race cleanly and actually have some good fun, because this is good fun. We go around the outside of that Subaru though, as we then advance towards the end of the lap, where we catch up to Muscafi then. So Muscafi, who does VR as well, it does YouTube as well. You can see that on the left hand side. We're going to try and go down the inside of Muscafi then and head up towards P number 7. Revving the nuts out of the car, of course I am. So we go into the braking zone as we do get it stopped indeed. We've got Cheesy up ahead. Now, some people did forget to change the tyres from medium to hard tyre. Cheesy didn't put a note in, but I wasn't sure with Cheesy. I know Disco Stew, who we overtook earlier on, definitely did say about the tyres. I did notice that when I went out the pits. So always check your tyres before you go into this. Anyway, coming into this corner, I nearly outbrake myself and go into the back of Give Me Back My Dog. I'm telling you now, I don't have your dog. I've got 2 cats here, but no dog. So unless one of the cats is actually a dog, I'm not too sure actually. But they do meow rather than woof. And we're not having woof racing anyway here. So we'll continue on out of the... Yeah, terrible joke, I know. Continue on out of there. We are in P7 and we go into the left here. Dab of the brakes there to try and rotate the car a bit. See that marshal box there? We accelerate. I'll explain that more in the lap guide as we look to catch up towards the hairpin. Then speaking of cats, one of us been to the toilet. It stinks. Oh my god, that stinks. What doesn't stink though is this move down the inside as we get it done through the left. Oh my word, I'm having to hold my breath in now as we continue on out of there. Oh, give me back my dog there, staying on my inside line as we go into the braking zone. Oh, around the outside I go. Happy days, job done. As we advance to lap 5 then, and look at this, we're behind Cheesy. And Cheesy's actually been slightly off earlier on in the lap, so just suffering with dirty tyres. Those dirty tyres really going to impact him here. As you see, there goes way too deep. We're going to go down the inside of Cheesy. We get that job done then up into P5. Happy days indeed. And if you notice, that fuel gauge is below half. It is below half, and it's very much below half now, even though we're on, well, we've got 5 laps to go essentially, or 4.5. So yes, we go off now here on the same left-hand that Cheesy did, to be fair. Very easy to do that. Very easy to do, just understeer slightly as we head in towards the braking zones. Guess who's going to be all over my exhaust? That's right, Cheesy is all over my exhaust as we continue on out there in the Twix machine, by the way. Have you seen the advert of the Twixes, the 2 factories? Is that actually a true story? I don't know. Who knows? Gonna head towards the right-hander though. Again, we're suffering with these dirty tyres, trying to get it slowed down like that. Oh, understeer galore there. Sorry, Cheesy, I can't do much about it as we go to the right then. Continuing through, the understeer still there. Understeer is just there for days as we go to the left. Is Cheesy going to go around the outside? Not quite then. In towards the braking zone we go. Cheesy's probably staying behind for a bit of fuel saving. Not that I knew anything about that yet. You'll find out when I know about it as we continue on through the right-hander and continue on out there. Lemony Squeeze then was on the medium tyres as well, so we'll overtake them up into P4. But Cheesy right on my exhaust then. Going to go for the move round the outside. There you go then, in towards the braking zone. Are they going to get it stopped? That is the question. They do indeed. We give each other room again on exit. Look at that beautiful racing. Absolutely beautiful. And Cheesy's got the grip on the exit then and is going to get the position. Really well played there, Cheesy. That is an awesome move. It really is indeed. Lap number 8 then, and look what appears on my screen. Yeah, I start panicking very quickly as you see my face just suddenly change. A slight smile on my face. Let's go and have a look how much fuel we got left. Yeah, 13%. And then I burst out laughing because I've got a hell of a job here. I've got 2 laps to go on only 1 lap of fuel. Let the challenge begin, folks. Let the challenge begin. We're going to head towards turn 1 then. And I really should be doing my actual lesson, or what I preach, should I say, which is don't rev the car when you're using fuel map, because fuel map is the last resort. I should be shifting much earlier than I am right now, and I'm not doing it. We get past Cheesy then, up in to P4, but obviously we are now going fuel map 6, because Yeah, it's red alert right now. It is literally red alert as we go through the left-hander then and through again. We are having no speed here. Now, I can tell you, Shelty did notice this, and Shelty's probably laughing his head off right now as we were racing because he knows what I'm like with fuel. But I did read it. I thought he said ×7 tires, not ×7 fuel. Gigi goes down the inside then, which I was thankful for because I want to save as much fuel as I can. Fortunately, we've done half a lap so far, and it still says 0.9 laps remaining. We get towards the end of the lap. We got Eiffel Stream, who was leading at the time, comes in the pit. So does Cheesy. So we're actually going to go up into P number 3. Question is, can we get to the end on 0.6 laps of fuel? Oh, we advanced to that final lap, and we advanced towards the end. Look at that, baby. Yes, we made it. We made it work. Congratulations to Medi there, and TCR, P2, and P3 as well. I can't believe I made that, to be honest, but I made it work somehow, some way. Yeah, I've just no idea how, but make sure you save a bit of fuel there, folks, and keep an eye on it. Right, here's a lap guide for you. Racing medium tyres for the lap guide, of course, because that is the faster tyre compound this week. Heading towards turn 1 then, we've got the painted orange barrier on the left-hand side. That is your brake marker. For some cars, you'll be braking now. In other cars, you'll be braking just after that, and other cars on it. Okay, that is just your marker, your reference. It's next to 100 board there. You can see that as well. So as you come into here, you can't actually see the curbing, so you want to turn quite early into the corner so that you can see the curb and accelerate as quick as you can. As I did there, I get good exit there, and I'm going to be up on my time. Heading towards the next corner then, what we're looking for is on the left-hand side, okay? Now, you can either use the painted orange barrier again. They're very nice, these painted orange barriers. Or you can use that piece of tarmac there. Now, I'm braking after this. Some cars will be on it, some cars before it, but I'm braking after it in the Toyota Supra, which is the car I'm in here, okay? So, brake after it, come down a couple of gears here, turn in, trying to use all the curb on the right. Now, keep turning right, head over towards the left then, clip each curb here where you can, just balance the car through these corners, and then bolt it towards this hairpin, okay? And you're braking 100% on the end of that curb there, okay? 100% in a straight line towards the hairpin. And this way, you're going to get the car stopped, and then you can start turning around the corner, okay? So that's what we're going to see right now when we come off this pause bit. Sometimes I need to reduce this pause, I know. So there we go. I slow it down nicely. I keep it tight. As you accelerate out of this corner, be careful of some power oversteer. Some cars will suffer for it as we continue on as then head towards this curb. This is a nice marker, this one, okay? This is your turning marker. Now, some cars, you do not have to brake for this corner. It's just a case of lifting off, allowing the car to roll into the corner. It will grip nicely. Some cars, you'll have to dab the brake a little bit, just get a bit of rotation in there and slow it down a bit. But this car is just a lift and turn in. Look at that. Lovely stuff. Lifting. If I can clip the curb, I'll try. And what I'm looking for is that Marshall box there. What an accelerating marker this is. As it gets near to the center of your screen, as you can see, I've just gone full throttle right about now because it's getting close to the center, and I've actually got a bit more rotation than I normally have, and I'm clipping the curb. So I'm going to accelerate through the corner now 100% because I know I will make it because of that Marshall box. There you go. See? It works. Trust me, it works. It's a really good marker. Head towards the hairpin, then at the top of the hill, you've got two markers you can use here. You can either use the Marshall box or the 50 board there. They're very close to each other. Or you can use the black arrow there on the right. That sometimes gets taken out, so just keep an eye on that. But basically, you're braking just after the arrow and just before the 50 in the Toyota Supra. Again, other cars may vary. So as we go on the brakes here, take a wider line in, okay? Because if you go in tight, you're going to go over the crest really weird and run a bit deep on exits. That way, if it's a wider line in, you'll get a nice line out and you can bolt it down the hill like I've shown you just there. As we get towards the bottom of the hill then, we have a pole on the right-hand side. I have no idea what that pole is for, but it's there. It's a nice pole. It's a good little marker for you. So as that hits the edge of your screen, hit the brakes, chuck it into this corner, because this is a fast corner, and I like this corner, especially in downforce cars. This corner is very nice indeed. It feels very good. Chuck it in, clip the curb. Be careful on exit of going too wide and touching the grass there. If your rear wheel touches that grass, you're going for a bit of a spinneroony. If it doesn't touch the grass, though, you're going to use the end of the curb as a bit of a marker. I'm braking just before the end of the curb here, and I'm trying to slow the car down a bit. Now, some cars, you'll want to drop a gear. In this car, it varies, so you can stay in 4th gear, and it'll be fine. It'll stay stable, and that's what I'm going to do here. So as I accelerate through here, then, we're going to go towards that left-hand side, then. I turned it a bit too early here, and you can see that, okay, because I'm going away from the curb a bit too early. When you turn in early, that's what happens. You come out the corner a bit too early. Turn in a bit later, straight line towards the next curb. Towards the end of the curb, and that's when you're going to brake after that curb leaves your screen, and you're going to straight line brake all the way to the next curb there, and that's what you're going to do. I had to compromise there on this lap, but that is exactly what you do. Balance the car through this right-hander. You may suffer some oversteer there as we go over these little bumps and hills and troughs, etc. Through the left we go. We clip the curb, have to lift off a little bit here, over towards the left-hand side, and then this curb is your final marker. Again, some cars here is just a lift and turn in and drop a gear as well, just to get that engine braking going. For other cars, you are going to have to dab the brake a teeny tiny bit, okay? use your judgment here, but that's the curve you're looking for here in terms of getting around this corner and slowing it down. So notice there, I dropped to third gear. The car turns in nicely. I've actually used the brake a little bit mid-corner there just to slow it down a bit. And what I'm looking for on the corner is that piece of tarmac or the end of the barrier. You can use either of these, okay? They're your accelerating marker. When you see them, you can't see the exit, but you will make the exit, or you should do, as long as you're very close to this curb and going around the corner and slowed it down enough. And that's what we do here. And then we can abuse the curb on the left and accelerate towards the line, where we're going to get a 52.2, I think that is. Yes, it is indeed. That's it in terms of a lap guide for race C. Time for the bloopers. Now, this is a bit of race sportsmanship I wanted to show you. Lemon Squeezy goes to the barrier there to avoid me. Just well played. Awesome sportsmanship. I did see it at the time. I didn't know where you'd gone, but now I know. So well played indeed. This is a mistake Hodgson made on lap 1. Cold tyres, a bit too deep. Understeers off. Be careful about doing that. Better to brake early on lap 1 on that corner. Remember, you'll have enough of a gap, or should do. Now, this is an interesting one. This is the Porsche that hit the pit barriers. According to here, I thought was racing side by side with the Porsche. Goes off. So remember, dirty tyres now. Dirty tyres. Into the braking zone we go. Sonic around the outside there. Does Sonic get it done? Yes, indeed. Beautiful racing between the two of them there. As they leave this corner, though, they're going to go to second gear, get a bit of wheel spin, and the rest is history there. Into the barrier there. Hard hit as well. So we saw this car off as well. We didn't actually. We saw the Porsche up head off. Now, this one's a bit more of a racing incident, I would say. The Porsche had gone slightly off there. The BLZ had gone towards the inside. 5 seconds is harsh, in my opinion. This one was another leader who went off. Just a bit too wide at spoon. I talked about that in the lap guide. Goes for a bit of a spin as well. Very slippy stuff there. Yeah, the Ben one, I don't know. It's a very hard one, that one. And after the racing incident, I would say, more than a penalty. It's just very iffy because of the way the car came back on. Right, here we go. So this was a slight contact with Mario Sonic there. It's the smallest of contacts, nothing major. It wasn't on purpose. And I had enough room on the left there as well. I was just leaving a bit of space not to touch the grass there. No, it's nothing really. It really is nothing there. We see Shelty going for a bit of a spin. Thanks for 4th place, Shelty. I appreciate it. And Sonic was winning the race, believe it or not. And when going into this corner, decided to outbrake himself. Sorry, Sonic. You said don't show it. I said I was going to show it. There you have it. But you did come back on very nicely. You came back on ahead and you did win the race. So congratulations to you. Unfortunately, in race C, which is the one we first did here, Sonic got attacked from behind from Rumova Vila there. And unfortunately, Sonic went off to the realms there, unfortunately. And that actually caused another crash as well, which it did involve Captain Stupendity, Disco Stew. As we go into the right-hander, slight tap from here. We've got the good old ping-pong physics that we're all used to now. And then they come back on here. And then you're going to see me go down the inside. Look how close this was. Wow, mugged by 3 supers there, mate. I mean, that was a good move and off. I did enjoy that one. Unfortunately, that is it for the video. I do hope you did enjoy this video. If you did, give it a like, subscribe to the channel, and help us on our journey to 40k. 2 videos to check out there, including the latest car profile, which I talked about. But a big thank you for the support, as always. I do appreciate it a lot, and I hope to see you in another video or live stream again very soon.